Welcome back, everybody. This is BrainStorm with Brian Sturm. I'm a gamer, a game designer, and I was a game tester. And I am playing through Bioshock Infinite as mostly a gamer, and if I can, I will point out things from an industry standpoint or maybe stuff that just occurs to me, and you can take away what you want. And by no means is this trying to be super educational. I'm just trying to definitely point out things when there are bugs instead of glitches, or make people think about level design, overall themes, game mechanic themes. So we are on walkthrough number 2 of Bioshock Infinite. The prophet shall lead the people to the new Eden. And they're going to give the player not much to interact with. They're going to let the player soak in
the seed of the prophet.
They're going to let the player soak in a lot of the artistic themes and let it get into their subconscious about what's going on in this game. And maybe the message of the game will also soak into the player. The other thing that happens throughout the game is that there's certain key phrases that they really want to get into your head. So, like any good advertisement, they repeat it and repeat it and repeat it over and over again. Now, if you haven't played the game, I played through most of the game, and then I stopped and I've started up this new walkthrough because I was getting too distracted as a gamer. I didn't think I was providing a good enough service trying to analyze the game. So I still have not finished the game, but I did get through, I think, most of it. So I'm just going to say there's spoiler alerts. I might be talking about later parts of the game. If you have not played the game, you might not want to watch this particular walkthrough. The Lamb, the future of our city. And start up that theme. They definitely start you realizing that you can go through and poke through things. I thought that was a Fallout reference when I first saw it.
Gotta find the exit out of this place.
Now, one of the things that you don't realize is probably going on is that at certain either time intervals or if you cross an invisible line, they got a scripted piece of audio from either Booker or from Elizabeth, or even sometimes the Levines that will encourage the player, give you a little hint, you know, I've looked everywhere, I wonder where the exit is. And that's just...
Excuse me, where am I?
Heaven, friend. Or as close as we'll see till Judgment Day.
Best keep such questions to myself, unless I want to get made.
But they do that just to kind of help you move along, in its own little way, nudging you. And also, it keeps your characters being alive. You're not walking around like Master Chief, completely silent for hours on end. Now, I said this in the first video. This is a slipping hazard. OSHA would not approve of this. You could just trip. Now, I noticed this. The Gladium. Now, I don't know how many people are going to notice this as normal gamers, but so I see the sword, Gladium. I see the clavin. I see the key, and I see the volume. I see the written word. So I saw this as immediately parts of the game that I'm going to have to fight to unlock the girl, and then we get to write our own story from here on. Maybe other people have been trying to write our story, and I think that was my first take on that.
And every year,
beautiful.
on this day of days,
once again, if anybody knows about yellow and blue, the way yellow and blue affects the human brain, very interesting that they chose to do that here.
The sweet waters of baptism. And lo, if the prophet has struck
anyone as a little bit of a stupid game tester thing, anybody wants to look, you see, can I zoom at this point? No. That archway has got a straight line straight down through it. And you can see the straight line in the reflection isn't always showing up. That might be Z-order fighting, and if you don't know what Z-order fighting is, you can look it up. Z-order fighting. Or it might just be that this whole water reflection has all been pre-programmed. So they pre-rendered it. They basically took an animated snapshot of it. And so what you're watching is an animated snapshot. So it appears like you're looking at all these reflections, but it was all pre-recorded. And so therefore, the CPU doesn't have to render all of it on the fly. Of course, the dialogue, even the way that these people are walking, should be hitting you on a subconscious level. I find it funny that this is some of the best detail, little crinkles. Someone spent a lot of time on these outfits, and then you don't see them for practically the rest of the game. And for anybody who is in the 3D world, the textures on these are you can see some of the mirroring. So that one of the giveaways is a little dirty butt right there, dirt butt. Even she's got her dirt butt. And so these are two pieces of the same art that have been mirrored and then stitched together. And once again, this is all saving on memory footprint. Everything that you got a texture is got to be loaded into memory for the 360. So if you can, reuse the same statues. If you can, try and reuse the same things and maybe churn them or twist them, or maybe lower or raise up, a candle. It is the same candle, but one's out of the water more and it looks differently, but you paid only one cost.
Is it someone new? Someone from the Sodom below, newly come to Columbia to be washed clean before our prophet, our founders, and our Lord?
I just need passage into the city.
Passage to the city. Brother, the only way to Columbia is through rebirth in the sweet waters of baptism. Will you be cleansed, brother?
It's either this or turn around and get back on that rocket. Might as well get it over with.
Go on, brother.
Reach out.
Hallelujah!
Come and be cleansed. Hallelujah!
All right. And also their choice to have this guy in not only in a black outfit, but in a weird black little beaded outfit.
Come, let us wash the Sodom from your
And
soul.
also you're talking about this
I'm just
rebirth
looking to
thing.
pass through.
Quite often you're looking for this rebirth, exiting uterus into birth, into the real world. You're going to see this theme a couple times in this game like that. When that shuttle first landed in my first playthrough, I noticed that they had an oval aperture in which you're exiting into a big splash of water. So they do have this kind of birth going on.
Looks like I'm gonna need to get past that preacher.
And here we have a key, so you have those kind of themes going on. And you notice what my character just said, that he's going to have to get to the preacher.
Just like to leave.
So based on time, probably, they're helping the player who might somehow be absolutely confused and to go and talk to this preacher.
Hey.
I baptize you in the name of our prophet, in the name of our founders, and the name of our Lord. I don't know, brothers and sisters, but this one doesn't look clean to me.
Who's there? Who's there?
Bring us the girl and wipe away the debt.
What do you want?
We had a deal to it. Open this door right now.
I told you. I'm not gonna do it.
Funny thing, on my first playthrough, I didn't.
Mr. DeWitt!
I love this little sequence so much. I didn't realize I was supposed to be interacting. I just stood here for a minute. All right. What is there to say about this? They give me a little bit of some clues about him. I think people who love this kind of stuff are going to poke around. You listen to how loud the music, the dissonant, scary music is, with a lot of reversed audio, little bits of zip going on there. And you can kind of try and figure out a little bit about who Booker was. This kind of desolate going on with him. And if you're good about reading backwards, found out he's a private eye. And for some reason, they let you have camera control. Ben Franklin.
No, because
That idiot priest needs to learn the difference between baptizing a man and drowning one. Find a landmark and figure out where the hell I am.
So, once again, you get to see the same themes: unlocking, sword, and written scroll. But you also have this violence kind of going on. You're seeing this religiousification of our founding fathers, which ties into somewhat into United States' current, I guess you would say, oversensitive, just really putting the founding fathers on a pedestal as an excuse to do whatever you want. And I will say this at this point, once again, for people who are both artists or want to be game testers or people who will make games, look at these art assets and think about how many times they're being reused, and then they're just twisted, moved up, moved down on the X or Y axis, but yet presented in a way that's very fresh, very original, and you don't really notice how much the world is being reused and reused over and over again. So I don't need to call it out every single time, but I thought I'd just say it right now because you can definitely see a lot of it happening here.
Our prophet fills our lungs with water, so they may better love the air.
I still don't like that those crows go straight up. It just kind of annoys me. The fact that the crows are triggered to fly away from you so close, and so they end up being like right in your face. It's such silly little things that the gamer in me. And here we are, completely low. You know what? I'm going to wrap this up since I'm at the 15-minute mark, and I'll start the next video, but I'll talk about what's going on here right now, in the next video.